Peace is my best friend. Show love in my romance. I am single, my heart is strong. I don't need no fake love to carry on. If love comes real, I'll open my door. But till then, I'm loving me more, yeah. Single and shining. Yeah.
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, so that's Vincent and the Grenadines. We got 28 minutes after 9 o'clock. Doc is still here with us. And of course, this is the open forum. All right, so the number to call is 457-9997 on both WhatsApp and the landline.
I have to chuckle with this song because I saw somebody out there must be saying, oh, Roleza playing that song. No, it wasn't me. That was Maka. Right? That was Maka playing that song about I am single. How? But I have to
nobody
ask though.
Sense here. She's not single, ain't it, Doc?
How you can watch a woman and say she ain't single?
She says she's single.
She's too beautiful to be single.
She is too beautiful to be single.
Yeah.
What I mean, though? So y'all won't believe it. She said that she is single.
No. Come on.
No, we don't believe that.
I don't believe that.
We don't believe that. She's single as being unmarried, but it doesn't mean that she's single.
So why is it so difficult to believe that somebody like her would be single?
She's too beautiful to be single.
No. Single is taken in two terms. Mm-hmm. You know, you're unmarried, right? I'm no longer married, so I'm single. But
he's not single.
But she.
Look at that, just smooth past that.
Right, that's what I'm getting at.
You're not married, but you're not single.
Well, let me
I've never heard Doc stammer in my life. Doc, you've never stuttered before.
He has finished off what I was going to say.
No, Doc, I'm asking a question.
Open it and carry it along.
Doc, I'm asking a question.
I wanted to say it in a much more measured way. Mm-hmm. You know, don't shift from me. We talk about release. You know what I mean? We talk about release, but you're something else. You see an opportunity there to jam.
Doc, I'm asking a question.
Is that caller?
No.
As the only female in this room, though, I find it interesting to hear men say this, right? Because there are times when women would say, and you're looking at Shansia as somebody who is attractive enough to not be single, right? But there are many women out there who have a lot going for them and they find themselves single. But because of the perception of persons out there thinking that they're already taken, nobody approaches them. Nobody shoots their shots.
It isn't that nobody shoots their shots. Some people are quickly rejected because they don't also fit a profile. You know, they'll be too short, too tall. They may be of a certain type of stature and so forth, so they're easily rejected. And we don't bring that into the picture. They say, oh, you didn't shoot your shot. But the vibes and the chemistry and so that you put over, you just the look. In other words, just the way you look at me. You know what I mean? I can't shoot a shot because the way in which you look at me.
As the only woman in this room, I would say that there are many occasions when persons have already been under the assumption that, in my case, that I'm already married. So nobody says anything, right? You're already taken.
So that's not the point. What she's saying, when they do find out that you're not taken, then what happens?
Well, it depends.
When they do find out,
when they do
eventually, you know, what then happens?
It depends. What happens, it depends. But I don't understand why.
I think that stumped you a bit there. I think that stumped you a bit there too, you know.
My whole thing, right? It is quite okay. And as we're approaching Valentine's, but this is not in the context of me by itself, but there is nothing wrong with shooting your shot. And if she lets you know that she's not into you, then let it be, right? But there are many women out there, good, decent women out there who end up being alone because of the perception that somebody thinks that they're already taken.
That's true.
Right? So shoot your shots. You just never know. But if she says no, then you back down, right? You let it be and you don't pursue further.
There are some women who say they're single and they're not.
True, and there are many men who say that they're single and they're not.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that.
Let's take this one.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Well, so much has been said listening this morning. There's a question I had for Doc, and I seem to have lost the question. Waiting there to get in, trying to get in there. Oh, Doc, yes. I think you should be a good example of a marriage life, even though I don't know who's your wife now, but I know you have embarked on that journey. How many times?
Well,
hello, Doc.
Well, let me tell you, Dave. I am not.
I'm just speaking.
No, I am not married. I'm answering you. I am not married. I am not married currently.
Oh,
I want you just to know that. So
okay.
That's the important thing. That is the important thing that you need to know.
So if I was following your example, then you may not be a good example.
You were married before, Dave. Dave, you were married before.
No. Why
no, I'm asking you, Dave. Wait, Dave, did I attend one of your wedding from you and so forth? Huh? One of them? Did I?
Well, you're turning this thing into a fun thing. I could tell you.
No, because I wanted to know. No, wait, Dave, wait, you've never been married, actually. Oh, no, you have been. Sorry, let me take that back. I can't make statements on the radio for you, oh God. Dave, let me apologize, right? I think I attended something for you on one occasion at Annisvale or something so, but maybe I mistake. No, it's Teddy. It's Teddy.
Anyhow, you're not willing to, I thought you would have been a good example to...
Wait, did you just say you are married?
Did I
hear Dave say he's married? Did I hear Dave say he was married? Did I hear him say so?
You're not encouraging people like Roleza, man. You're not encouraging...
Dave, answer that. Dave, have you ever been married?
No, that's not a difficult question to answer.
I thought just now I heard him say he's been, but my ears, I'm have some wax in my ears.
I know. I know you love your old talk when you want to escape from whatever reality is.
Escape? You mean you want to put me into a reality, Dave? You want to put me into a specific reality?
Forget about it.
Anyhow,
so just to go back on the crime situation in this country. When I really listen to crime becoming such a simple thing in this country, I have to put it that way. Crime has become so simple, so easy to do. I never kill a fowl yet, much less to think of taking another man's life or a woman's life or something of the sort. But since Vincent and the Grenadines, I remember there was a time when I used to express my concern so much that there was this guy on this radio station who thought I was being too negative. Now the thing is, nobody seemed to have the answer or the clue to answer our murder, our crime situation in this country, not just murder, but the amount of criminal offenses we have to deal with in this country. So is there a way out? Is there an answer? I mean, you have those on the Christian side who would say who would approach it from a biblical standpoint. But is there really a way out where our crime situation is concerned? I think all we can do is hope and pray that every year now we hope that the crime rate will go down. All right.
Dave, I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised by your statement because I gotta say this, it will get me into some trouble. But I think that 2 years ago, 3 years ago, being on the same program and hearing the back and forth, where almost every week, every morning, and so we were talking about crimes and so forth. Billboards went up and so forth, things like that about Savings being a crime-ridden place.
Yeah.
I think that it's a lot deeper than a change in government. It's much deeper than praying and having a candlelight march. It's much more complex. I have lived in certain parts of the United States that I have been scared shit to go out. There was a place. There was a place. Who I used to belong to a Chateaubriand cultural group, and so Chatex, and we used to have a garage. And then I found out that where we used to have the garage thing, they said was the murder capital of Brooklyn, and that took me by surprise. I didn't know about all these murders that were taking place 100 feet, 100 yards down the road almost every night and so forth, because I wasn't reading that stuff. And I became conscious of it, and I became rather anxious and scared about being in that circle, being in the environment. And so I was recently in Brazil, and I was told, don't walk down these side roads. Don't go here, don't go there. Never take out your cell phone. Never do this, never do that, never do. And I if you start to reflect on certain other countries of the world, it's a serious problem. And you're right, Dave. I won't agree with you. I hope St. Vincent does not come in, but we should not give up. We should not. So I'm only reflecting on this, that the new administration is certainly going to face this and is going to be expected to come up with new ideas, new strategies. Let us not give up so early, because I am hoping that there has to be a solution. There has to be solutions, and we can't give up.
The questions. I ask questions publicly. This is something that I have been on top of for the longest while, like I said.
And I don't want you to give up. I don't want you to give up. Don't want you to throw your hat in and think that it can never be solved. You know what I mean?
I am thinking with people like you around and being so much in the know, and Roleza and the younger generation, so to speak, will have the answers. But I have been around long enough now to see that nobody seems to have the answers. And when you think of how we live our domestic lives, it is not making it. It is making it even more far-fetched, because we don't live a decent life.
All right.
Anyhow,
All right, Dave.
take care.
All right. We have another call on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, gentlemen and lady. Dr. Thompson, it's good to see you still at the wicket.
Well,
There's an old saying: you snooze, you lose. This is in relation. Why every time I talk, you guys laugh at me?
No.
I'm trying to hear what Josh is going with this.
Nobody else laughing, Josh, other than me, because how you say Gerald Thompson at the wicket. I was wondering, is it that Josh is saying that I am still alive, and that, or is it that I am still on radio? But it's just that last week I missed because I had some meetings and so forth, and a conflict of interest and so. So just you missed me 1 week doesn't mean that I'm a night watchman or that I retired hurt or something. So no, man, I'm still here. I haven't left the crease yet, man. Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've been looking at the news recently, but you see in Florida, it's raining iguanas. I mean, like hundreds upon hundreds of iguanas falling out of the trees. And I said to my wife, if that was St. Vincent, Vincentians would be having a ball. Now, you threw me off track. This is not what I called to talk about.
Okay.
Anyway, there's an old saying: playing possum You know, like if you chase a you chase a man, it could be yes. So that's what I meant, Dr. Thompson. You're not playing Pagam. You're still very much alive and kicking.
Oh.
And as far as snoozing and losing, gentlemen, if there's a lady out there, whether she's married, single, or neither, if you want to go at her, just approach her, man. You know, the least she could say is no. Because,
So you're going to encourage me to approach a married woman? I could understand the single, but approach a married woman? You're hoping that she's unhappy in this marriage?
When I got married to my second wife, everybody was saying to her, "Don't marry the guy. He's a dog. He's a rat." He says, that's not the thing. My wife was there. I didn't know if she was single, attached or what, but I approached her and I chased her for 6 months before she said yes.
Yeah.
I did not give up. Now on the issue of guns, I am looking forward to the Minister of National Security getting serious on crimes. And we are all familiar with the spider. You could brush over a spider web until Jesus comes back. The webs are going to come back. You have to get to the source. Kill the spider. Major Leacock, I appeal to you. Revoke all gun permits. Revoke all gun permits and let people apply. And you deal with each individual on a personal basis. Check them, and anyone caught with an illegal firearm, just put them up for Charlotte, lock them up in that gate up there and let them shoot it out. But revoke all permits and start afresh. But that would be my suggestion.
But Joshua, I am not sure that the crimes, I was listening to live earlier, I'm not sure the crimes are being conducted with
persons with legal firearms.
It seems to be with other people, with illegal guns. And if you take it away, and next week, as he said, a guy got another one again. And it may be, I don't know if you are subject to the same thing in Bermuda. Your proximity to the United States is where guns seem to be legal and it seems to be a right. Is there a flow of guns, illegal guns, into Bermuda as there is into other parts of the Caribbean and the Americas? So the access to a gun in America, you could go in and buy something and maybe even get an illegal gun if you want, because of the volume of guns. There are more guns than people. So that I don't know what the situation is in Bermuda.
Guns are illegal in Bermuda, Doc. Guns are legal. You cannot legally own a firearm. The reason why I said firearm.
But are there illegal guns? That's what I'm saying. Are there illegal guns in Bermuda? There clearly must be.
Yeah, the guns are wrong because just last month, right in my backyard, right on our premises, there was a fatal shooting. All the gunman had to do was turn around and shoot at us, but God spared us. So the guns are there. The reason I mentioned firearms is that I didn't say knife or cutlass because everybody got a knife and a cutlass in the house. Almost everybody in St. Vincent. So I can't put a ban on those things because that's not practical. But the firearms and anyone caught, because I'm serious about this. I love guns because I believe an armed society is a safe society. If I know Dr. Thompson has is packing something, I'm not going to be that stupid to approach him face to face. I'll stay away from him, but it has to be legal. It has to be a legal thing. It's not going to go away. And the major said he would fix it. I hope he at least take it from the
Josh, I also have a sense that when you look at an old Western movie and who's the fastest shooter in the West and who's the best gunshot and who's practicing and so forth and all that kind of thing, there's naturally a culture. I think too that criminals, their biggest enemies are not necessarily the police or normal citizens. It may be other criminals. So you want to protect yourself from someone else who may want to get rid of you from their turf, from the dispute that you're having. And that's what seems to be going on. The dispute between one group and another. So a shootout. As we've seen the shootings coming from different groupings. It isn't shooting against the police, or the police necessarily shooting against the folks them there, or ordinary citizens being caught in random citizens in ricochet or friendly fire. That happens. But it is two individuals, and they cut their teeth, and they get their pips and their ratings based on how bad they are and so forth. That's so the fastest gun in the West. He feels proud that he's the fastest gun in the West. Huh?
Oh, okay. All right.
Let me listen to you off there.
Okay, sure.
You know, my favorite American, years ago, he said, you know, when he challenged another country, he said, my gun is bigger than your gun. I'm going to listen to you off there. I'm not going to call any name. My favorite American said that.
It's you who tell me, but okay. Somebody was there telling me about the orange man, and I heard the orange man has seen something I was looking at. But anyways, all right. So Doc, any final thoughts as we close off this segment? Maka, any final thing?
Boy, there's all this talk about to curb crime, but I believe, this is my belief, we have to have more police patrol, especially in the neighborhoods. That's my belief.
Okay. I two fire comment. On that same note, I think a lot of multiple things have to be done. Beefing up the police, confidence in the community, maybe in terms of witnesses, giving them a greater incentive to come forward, financial and otherwise, and so forth. There may be conflicts with that, you know, in terms of the court cases, how much you're being paid for saying that, whether that's legal or not. But I think things have been done in model. The CCTV helps. Greater forensic, probably to get it freezing, a number of different factors. But it does start really with the communities and people being able to talk for things to stick, you know. But on the second note, I feel Josh touched on it, that I think it isn't a matter of men seeing necessarily a woman and approaching. I think sometimes the initiative, the outreach, that first smile, that first wink may have to come from the woman too, right? Maka, is anything wrong with a woman indicating to a man that I like you, you know, I would like to go out with you, or is there any way we could go out? I mean, you know,
woman asks that question.
What I'm saying, is there anything wrong with that? And
but
women do ask that question.
Hardly women do ask a guy out.
Women do ask that question. They may not necessarily ask to take the guy out. They may ask for the guy to take them out. But can we go out? Who is and so? But there's nothing wrong with a woman helping with that particular initiative on some occasions. I'm not saying to do it all the time, but there's nothing wrong on some occasions. If you see somebody that you like, you know, the male, yes, may be caught up by, I don't think she's single, she looks good, therefore she can't be single, and so forth. But then the woman, if she sees somebody that she likes, right? And she goes for the same thing, but I think he's married. But if she finds out that he's not, or he fits a particular profile, can she go out and say, hi, I was just thinking about you?
But now you have me here curious, because how do boy, the segment going to go on for a bit. How do you all as men feel when a woman approaches you first? In that, I think men are used to being the ones who do the chasing. You do the one. You're used to being the ones who would not confront. Confront is not the word. Who would
what you
approach
about?
A woman first? If I just meet you for the first time and I say, "Oh, Doc, I like you. Let's go out." You won't think that I'm a little bit too forward, a little bit too thirsty?
This should be the old Ceylon, Sri Lanka. In a certain culture in Sri Lanka, women allowed to marry more than one man. You understand? And there are certain cultures and so forth. There we have polygamy, but that it is okay for a female to send a note or send a present or do a gesture. You know, it could be simple. It may not be a frank phone call, I want you take me out. You know what I mean? But you could give an indication that it raises that right eyebrow. You understand?
Let me hear from Maka, because you a little older. Let me hear from Maka.
Woman, I don't know, but as you mentioned, women in St. Vincent, they don't approach that way.
But Maka, if I had approached you in that way, right? I was like, all right.
I will find it strange.
I don't want to say
as in up to something.
Yeah, I will find it strange that you're up to something, because no woman in St. Vincent, they don't do that. They don't approach a man like that.
But I'm not going to say, because we are so public and so forth. Oh my gosh.
I think some men would find. I think men enjoy the chase. You enjoy seeing a girl or a young lady, but she has to. Okay, you.
What do you mean? You enjoy the chase, and then if the rejection is there, therefore you don't enjoy that. You
I think men prefer being the ones to make that first step, right? But when she gives you that inclination, or she gives you that vibe, that I too am interested, then you go along with it. But not me approaching Maka and say, Maka boy, you look good. Let we go out.
I agree with you. I'm not talking about somebody come up to you and hugging you and kissing you.
I'm not talking about.
I'm talking about an indication. Women
do give an indication.
That's right.
But it's after your approach.
That's the point. I'm saying sometimes that indication, in terms
for us to take the initiative,
in terms of a longer look, you understand? A longer glance.
Yes, a little longer.
a longer glance. A carefully crafted smile. You understand? You know,
right? So we would do.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you're frank and overt.
We would do stuff like that, but
Doc, some of them are fake, right?
What?
Some of those glances and the winky eye are fake.
Yes, it is. But it could be said the same way, that in terms of a male, woman walking about and a guy whistles and so forth and things like that. You know, all those things. That's normal catcall.
Doc, I think we already do that. That we give a longer glance, we give a nice smile, we give a hello or whatever. That is the first step to let you know that, okay, we might not be opposed to having a conversation with you. But when you come out directly and say, okay, well, I'm interested in you in this or that way, then we will let you know. Hopefully it's not the kind of Maka talking about, but we will let you know whether or not we are interested and we would go further. But I think women, in a way, we let you know when it's okay. But so for us to make that first approach, I don't know how many women would actually do that or would want to do that. Because...
Doc, before we go, I just want to ask her a question.
Oh, jeez.
How do you know when someone is interested in you?
Oh, Lord. For me, it has to be consistency, right? It's one thing for you to approach me and tell me that you like me, but it's another thing for me to see your actions based on it. Do you check up on me? When I tell you that I'm having a rough day, how do you try to maybe console me or try to have a conversation with me to ease that? For me, it's the consistency.
That's different, really. So that's where you're in a conversational relationship already. How do you sustain a relationship? If they check for them to reach and say, you meet somebody and you first will tell them, I'm having a rough day.
Agree to that.
You meet somebody the first time and they tell you, I'm having a rough day. And you're then trying to reach them back. If they're having a rough day, by saying that you're having a rough day, the person they have a rough day because you've come into their space and you come into their face.
Wait, hold on.
And you're causing their rough day.
That's somebody who in a relationship, right?
No. Hold hold on. You're taking this for jokes. My whole thing is that this is
somebody
no,
for the first time. You
hold
don't know all that. The
No,
person.
hold on. Wait. I'm talking about the talking stage. And this is why I'm saying it has to be consistency. You could approach me today and tell me that you like me, but that means nothing to me.
But it is what you say back. You know, in other words, if somebody say, I like you, say, I'm having a rough day.
No, but no.
I'm saying to you, that is your response.
Hold on.
And then guess what? You're judging whether the person takes it. They come back again afterwards. Say, yes, you told me you're having a rough day. So I just wanted to hope that you are having a good day the next day.
So
you passed the test.
So you
passed the test. Yes, sir, because you've gone past, hearing that I have a rough day and you have been consistent.
So you and Maka feel that just by approaching me and telling me y'all like me, that's it?
No. By you saying that you're having a rough day.
But
to
no,
get
I
the
would
consistency,
say
that person has to interpret what you mean by you are having a rough day. Are you having a rough day because of them? Yes, sir.
Maka, hold on. No, I think I lost it.
Doc, if she says she having a rough day, that's it.
That's a red flag for you. No, but then Maka, if you hold on. Y'all confusing me this morning. You approach me in this instance and tell me you like me, right? So you think that just off the jump, I'm supposed to?
What happens after that?
I'm supposed to accept it?
No, what happens after that? The person says that I like you, and then everything goes blank until you come back and says I'm having
what I do in that very first instance. That's what you meant, Maka?
Yes.
If I like you back then, maybe you would get my phone number, maybe, and then we take it from there in the talking stage.
Just like that.
It depends, but I'll have to know you from before. And then I do my background checks, all right? Because somebody bound to know somebody, all right? I do my background checks.
Do background checks. We see that's the point.
I have to do background checks, Doc.
No, she could you could do your own background checks.
No, but then Maka could tell me he's single, tell me he like me, tell me that he's single, but I have to do my background checks.
Yeah, I tell you, background checks can be so.
Background checks can be.
Somebody do a background.
Because you might not come back with a good testimonial.
Somebody do a background check on me. They
and it's not truthful, right?
Over the years, this is bad. Stay away from him.
I will say this though, right? In terms of doing the background checks, it's not necessary because I do believe that we do grow over time and we do change over time and circumstances can cause us to change and to grow, right? But my background check in this case is to make sure if you tell me you're single, that you're actually single.
That's the only point.
Right?
That's the only point.
Kinda, right? Kinda. But
no other back.
Too many people say out there that they're single when they're not single. And that is where it is. We run ourselves into trouble.
Because we live in St. Vincent, it's so easy. You're talking about a foreigner who comes here. But I tell you something. The deportees and so forth who come, I think that, and we St. Vincent is strange, deportees. They when they come, they would want to also find somebody, link with somebody. Is a new crop. I want to endorse the deportees that they may be good people.
She can't get a background check.
And as the prime minister of St. Kitts would have said, they may be the best of the best.
It's in her good man and Vinci.
She can't get a background check.
Anyway, I see somebody here saying there's a difference between a playboy and a mature man. Sometimes we can't always tell the difference. Let me just leave that there. All right, this was an interesting talk to us. Very interesting talk to us. Anyway, Valentine's is coming. That's all I would say. DJ Maka and Roleza have to. All right. So we're going to end at this time. Times are changing. I'm not sure what.
Caddy King.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. Anyway. So with that, we are coming to the end of our Talk to Us segment and our Activated Mornings program for this morning. So we are heading on out. This is Roleza signing on out for today.
Doc signing out.
Maka signing out until tomorrow.
All right. Take care, everyone.